We are being live streamed. We are being live streamed. Are you there, Chris? He is joining right now. Chris Monroe, my co-host, simulcast partner. And close down some of my apps on this side here.
Live stream.
Yes, we are.
We are being live streamed. Are you there,
Oh,
Chris?
that's me on my. Chris Monroe is joining. There is the man, the myth, and the legend. What's going on, my friend? Chris Monroe is in the house. I'm going to let Charlotte join us. How's everybody doing today? Everybody doing all right?
We are making the pay.
You're doing what?
Making the pay.
All right. That doesn't look like Charlotte. Oh, you're muted on me, buddy. Oh, you're muted. It's all right.
And mute to my debut. All right.
There we go. How's it going?
Going.
Good. Where you joining us from?
Fort Jumalt West High School.
Really?
Oh, that's St. Charles.
Yeah, beautiful day out.
Yeah, my son has football practice.
Oh, really?
So
What's he
just kind of
play?
walking around here.
What's
So
he play?
right now they're practicing offense right now. So
Yeah.
they got a game against Timberland this weekend, and it's kind of the playoffs. So
Okay.
so yeah, kind of an important game. So
Yeah. That's exciting. That's awesome.
So.
That's awesome.
So usually they do meetings. I think there's a meeting next week, and of course he has a baseball game. So
Right.
that's how it goes.
And what's your name? I apologize. I don't know. Have you been on before?
No, I've never been on before.
Oh, okay.
It says Charlotte probably because the last time I used Zoom was for my kids' virtual
Oh,
school or something like that. So
yeah. So what's your name then?
I'm Kyle.
Oh, you're
Gilbertson.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Kyle. Yeah. Glad you can make it on. I know
Right.
you've commented a couple times like you really want to come or jump on.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you made time to do that.
Yeah. I met you guys in person. I think once you had a house up for sale. We were trying to wholesale it or something.
That's right.
Back, so.
Up in North County, right?
Yeah.
That's
Well, the thing
right.
about
Now-
it, whenever you guys, I don't know why this is. Whenever you guys are at Hooters, I used to work at Hooters years ago.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I think we even talked about that at that one because I had a kind of an open house thing. I had a few people coming through that house at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember you now. That's
Yeah.
right. And next week we're going to be at the Hooters in Fairview, and you said you've got something going on, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually opened that store years ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the management's really great. They're awesome. They always give us that back room. They give us the eye table. They have an Illinois eye table. I don't know if that was there whenever you were there, and they give us that whole section. And they're going to donate a $50 gift card for us to raffle off
Nice.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be great. It'd be great. We had a nice turnout to our the one last week, and it was good. That was in Maryland Heights, and they had a
Right.
good turnout
Yeah,
there.
that's where I started at. That was always kind of one of my favorite stores, but then I worked downtown for a long time, and that always was my favorite.
Okay. Your favorite is the one you're at, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was there for almost 3.5 years. So
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I was
Okay.
there for a long
Okay.
time. So.
Yeah, we're glad they're always gracious to us and let us have our meetings there. And it started out when I just and it's funny because the guy that I started it with, he texted me today a picture that must have popped up on his Facebook memories or something. He had posted how he was going to meet me in St. Louis at the Hooters to have a mastermind, real estate investor. And it was just him and I sitting and talking. It was 6 years ago today. And that was
Right.
technically our first time I ever used a Hooters as a real estate investing meetup place.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure they got space for you throughout the week. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad. Oh, Chris is hanging out. I keep forgetting to watch the waiting room. So we got people joining us. Nick's joining us from the waiting room. Chris is joining back in. Must have been having some technical difficulties. You back, Chris? There he is. Oh, look at you, man. You got a fresh cut, don't you? Looking good, my man. He's on mute.
Cut.
There it is. Yeah, it looks good, buddy.
All right, now I got
Good.
the thing going. I had to get off
You
of
don't
this
know?
multiple cameras, and I'm not at home, so I've been doing this from my
Oh,
office. And it's a whole other booger when you're in your office.
right. There's
Never-
Nick. Nick's hanging out above the clouds there or some balcony view, and you looks like you're in the East St. Louis. You're in East St. Louis from that skyline behind you. Nick, we're not meeting in Fairview till next week. You don't need to be on the Illinois side of the river till next week.
I don't like that traffic going across that bridge, so I got here early.
That's a good idea. Good idea, man. Good idea.
I'm going to go up to that new bridge next time, and that'll be quicker.
Yeah, it's a nice bridge. It's a nice bridge. Guess what I've got up on my laptop, waiting to fill out as soon as we're done with this meeting.
I've been waiting. I said,
I know.
I even checked my email, see if it was working, and it did.
I should have told you I'll
test.
text you as soon as I get it done. But yeah, I got slammed the rest of the day after we got
All right.
hung up.
Not a rush.
Yeah, no, that's right. And then I had got a property that the seller just has to sign the agreement on DocuSign today. And sent it over last night, and we finally agreed on a price. And then she, said she wasn't going to be able to sign it till today, but she printed it out, looked it all over, and had some questions on some of the paragraphs and in the agreement. So we went through that a little bit. So that was the time I was going to come and work on our agreement. And so anyway, had to get that sent back over so that we can get that thing wrapped up.
I'd be ready whenever.
Yeah, buddy. You got your co-pilot?
Yes, I do. He was on the floor looking up at me, wagging his tail, pouting. So, all right, get in, you little ham. He's a dog, but he's a ham.
Oh, I gotcha. Big lap dog. Like all of them are, right?
Well,
So Kyle, what have you been doing lately?
Let's see. I had a tenant call yesterday that had said that their furnace, they actually turned their furnace on and it wasn't running. So I went and checked that out. But
Oof.
haven't been doing a whole lot really, dealing with my
Yeah.
kids and
Right.
stuff like that. I mean, I'm at full occupancy. So
That's
this
awesome.
is the kind of the time where you got to learn to relax.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just kind of go from there. I did have a couple of good conversations with some people that are interested in helping me out with the maintenance side.
Oh,
So
nice.
I might, kind of go down that route. I mean, I had a good buddy of mine that used to help me with houses, and
Okay.
he actually passed away,
Oh,
like 2
man.
months ago. So
Holy cow.
yeah, he is 40 years old. So
My gosh.
yeah. So Like I said,
Sorry to
I
hear
just
that.
kind of been in a holding pattern, and I got a father-in-law that's really sick too right now, Missouri Baptist. So I'm just kind of no real time to get into anything really right now. So
Yeah, no
kind
doubt.
of hang back and see what happens. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean everything's been good, and if people aren't bothering me, I'm not going to bother them.
Sure. Yeah, you're not going to go knocking on your doors and say, "Hey, what can I fix?"
Yeah, that's not really my style.
Right.
I go to Home Depot enough.
Right.
But
So what's going on, Chris? Are we streaming anywhere? Chris got like 75 different accounts for us right now, don't you, Chris?
You said I got what?
You got like 75 different social media accounts we're going live at right now, don't you?
Yeah, I think I just got it to work. Hopefully it's working.
Oh,
I'm not-
good.
People let me know though.
Yeah, true.
Facebook,
You going live? Where you? Go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
will be multiple living.
Multiple living.
That's right. So yeah,
I like that term.
my deals fell apart today. So
Did they? Man, I tell you what, this past week I've had 4 offers shot down. Thought they were too low, even though one especially that we even gave like, here's why it needs to be this. Here's the comps we used. Here's all the rehab we're gonna have to do. So this is the price we need to be at. And they're like, oh, no way. And they're like $40,000 higher than that. I was like, nope, that isn't gonna happen.
about 40 grand.
Right. Nope. I said, that's all my rehab budget. Oh, well, you don't need to give. This was funny because, like, well, you don't need to give people new appliances. It's like, right. You don't have to. You don't have to.
just,
Kind of nice. It's kind of, if you stick in a rental, new appliances in a rental, you could charge a little more rent, whatever. But it's funny.
Charge to the game.
Yeah, the lady's a landlord too, so she knows the game. She just wants to play both sides of the coin. She was bragging about how she doesn't get all into a house for more than $25,000, but she likes little 2-bedroom 1-baths. But even then, she's like, I'm in all my 2 bedrooms 1 baths for $25,000 or less. And then we tried offering for this. I guess it was a 4-bedroom 2-bath in Godfrey. It's like needs not a ton. I mean, needs quite a bit of work for like 58 or 52. She's like, oh no way. It's like, well, she's like, there's a house right down the road that's 90. I was like, okay, is it move-in ready? Yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. Yours isn't move-in ready. Anyway. So yours all fell apart today, huh, Chris?
Yeah, they basically were. I had them. It's already was a deal under contract. I had a buyer locked. Well, I didn't have a buyer locked in. I had a buyer go see it. He wanted to get it first, and then he flaked out. Then I had another buyer. He wanted to see it, but this was a kind of newer buyer, so he wanted to have full inspection, every little nook and cranny. And he was like, "Well, I'm kind of worried about this and that," so he passed out today. And now we'll just cancel it. And I'm like, well, I mean, I told her all I could do is see if I can get you a buyer. I guess he was getting tired of people coming over there. But it's in a rough area, so it's hard to move those deals.
Yeah, true.
And I told him that up front. I told him I'm not buying it because it's I don't buy over there. So I didn't like how I to him. Or,
you guys ever find anything out west?
Like how far out?
Like I live in O'Fallon, and I'm going, a half hour, 40 minutes east to a lot of my properties. Do you guys ever find anything 45 minutes north or 45 minutes west of like Wright City or Troy up that way? Or
I'll get one every once in a while. Not a ton. Just because I don't market out that far usually myself.
Okay.
And that's for selfish reasons. And I probably shouldn't. It's still the St. Louis area. I could at least partner up with somebody who does. But me being, that I'd live down in Waterloo, that's quite a bit of a drive for me to go out and look at a house and whatever. But even then I could do more, more phone screening and then partner with somebody to go take a look at it. Right, Chris?
That's right. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, I got somebody that said they got some houses up in the Joplin, Missouri area. You know anybody up there?
No, I've only been to Kansas City like twice in my whole life.
Joplin. I mean,
Or yeah, Joplin's down south.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's by like south of Springfield.
Yeah.
I
Years
mean,
ago, I saw where that tornado tore through. I actually drove through all that.
Did you really?
Yeah, we were driving down to Texas, and we
Ooh.
decided to take a detour and went and checked it out. It was pretty impressive. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. It
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago, maybe 10 years ago, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But I mean, I don't really know anybody down there that way that's buying, but I mean, I could, always, I don't know. Do they have a deal there? Do they have property under contract there?
Yeah.
I'd always be willing to work with somebody to try to find a buyer. I mean, show them how I try to find buyers.
4 deals. 4.
What's that?
They got 4 deals.
4 deals in Joplin?
Yeah.
Are they new? Are they just new investors, or do they?
I haven't spoke to them yet, so I'm
okay.
talking to them here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I told them I'm not buying up there. I can help them find a buyer. Same thing
Yeah.
I tell everybody.
Right. Yeah. No. That shoot. Heck yeah. I mean, what I've done in areas that I'm not 100% comfortable with, and that from when I first started out, and this is, I mean, stupid probably, but probably everybody's doing this. But I remember when I was brand new, I would jump on Zillow and look at the neighborhood sold, right? Like go to the neighborhood that I had my lead on or whatever, or my contract or whatever, find out what's sold recently, then jump on the assessor site and plug in all those sold addresses and see who bought them. And then try to find those people, skip trace them or whatever, and say, hey, I know you bought a house last year in this neighborhood. I've got a new one. Would you be another one? Would you be interested? I mean, that's what I've done in the past.
Yeah, I just try to look and see where you can find value, as a long-term investor.
Right.
Some of these prices, and somebody sent me something the other day over in Woods and Terrace or something like that. And for what they were wanting on it, I could probably get 3 houses for what they were asking for. And and the house was even finished. I was still gonna have to put money into it and fix it up and all this nonsense. And I go, me as a landlord, I'm still only gonna be able to rent it out for $1,000 a month or whatever, if that.
Yeah.
And here you want 6 figures for the house. I'd rather try to find something 30,000-40,000 and find a bunch of them.
Sure.
But that's, like I say, appreciation is kind of something I was looking. I mean, I know people that are moving out to Jonesburg, Missouri. And,
really? Where's that?
Past Bowling Green and some of these places. I can't believe people are going that far to live out. But
wow.
I go, if there is still houses way out there that nobody wanted to live in, I could fix it up and turn it into a rental, no problem.
Right.
But it's just a matter of if you want to live in Jonesburg, Missouri.
Where and you said where's that at?
You gotta look it up on a map. It's like past Warrenton.
Well, here's what you do, Rich. You go west. Go west.
Yeah, you just keep going west on 70 until you run out of gas.
You go right, you make a left. Go over the hill. You see a lake on the left. Make another left. Keep on going about 27 miles south of there, and you might run into it.
That sounds good. I think I'm going to head out there now. So you guys take it easy.
Out in the sticks for real.
Right. That sounds super sticky.
Yeah.
Someone over here, Melissa on YouTube, say I'm working on a double deal in Mississippi. I need help with help. Oh no, she's asking for help, Rich.
What? We don't give help. No way. No, I'm just kidding. What's the details?
Hop in here, Melissa.
Yeah.
Link.
I'm gonna. Oh, I almost posted. No, that's fine.
Let me see here how I can get her the link if she don't have it. because I didn't put it on my site like I normally do. I cheated this time. You say LOL. A double end deal. If you shoot me a message, you say I don't have the link. If you can shoot me a message, I can get you that link.
Yeah.
Shoot me an email to
Yeah. If you go to, or if you want to go to stlviplist.com, I can always shoot it over to you real quick too. Or whatever's easiest. Chris has probably got it faster. Or just text me.
So yeah, Melissa, if you shoot me an email there to chris@wokerealestate.com, I'll reply back with the link for you. I guess that's quick. I don't know. That's quick or fast. Or if you can shoot me a message on Facebook or somewhere, I don't know. Find some way to get in and get that pay. Like, that's the name of the game. So a double end deal.
Are you live on Clubhouse now too?
No, I'm not on Clubhouse right now. I had trouble getting this going. Let's see here. I don't have the link. Mandy Garcia. I don't know what that is. Or maybe they just tagging somebody. So yeah, if you shoot me an email, I'll get you that link. I hope. I pray if I can do it. Yeah, that's why I need to get back on my regular home studio computer, because this one here been giving me hell in a cell. But I just took another deal on the north side. Rich, you want to buy in North St. Louis?
City?
Yeah. You want to buy one?
Probably not.
You want to
Probably
buy
not.
a car? Oh my God.
You know some people though, right? Actually, I mean, if it's in decent shape, and in that price range that we were talking about at the last meetup.
What's the price range?
It was it was basically like 10 to 14.
Oh yeah, it's below that. It's 11.5.
Well, let's talk. Seriously, I've got a buyer, as long as it's in decent shape, I've got a buyer that's begging me for something.
Well,
in
here's
that
the
range.
I'm actually working on two houses. They're right next door to each other. The one I already have under contract. That's just a wholesale cash deal. The other one is a potential creative deal. So there's a loan on that property. It's about $600 a month. To me, that's kind of high over there, but
Okay.
it's a big house. It's 4 bedroom, 2 bath. So it's a pretty big house.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's from California, and I sold him something that was in a pretty good sweet spot for him, and now he wants another one. I'm like, well, those days are kind of almost dried up and over, even here in St. Louis, but we can see what we can do. We come across them every once in a while. So yeah, let's talk seriously. Get this in front of him. He's going to actually be in town next week.
Put it up in the Facebook group. A bunch of people messaged me like, "Oh, I want it. I dropped their email in the thing. I'm like, only because it was 11.5, so I guess everybody get excited.
Sight unseen. You got to bid more now. You're going to sell that thing for 25.9.
They could take this other one that's in better condition over here on Harlan. If they want a house that's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, was a 2 family, so they convert it back to a 2 family or leave it like it is.
Tell them nobody can get it unless they come on this live Zoom right now and we talk about it.
Right now. Matter of fact,
that's right now.
Let me write our back.
No, but did your person who has the 2 deals they're working on or whatever, the double deal, are they going to jump on?
Send her the link right now.
Oh, okay, cool, not a problem. I just forgot to check the waiting room that for reasons we know. I stick everybody in the waiting room when they come on. If I don't know them, they don't get in.
Wow. They're gonna come out here and start cussing. You stupid mama. No.
Yeah, we know what they're capable of, don't we?
They won't do that. Not to you, Rich.
No.
Never happened before.
Nope, sure didn't. Not to me.
Link
Man.
for tonight.
That's yeah. So Nick, what's new with you, buddy?
Oh, I'm just calling people, talking to them, asking them questions, and trying to just get them to, get their motivation and how good they're at it. And most of them haven't been real warm yet that I've been talking to, but
yeah.
The more I talk
What
to,
are you asking them, Nick? What kind of questions have you been asking these homeowners?
I'm asking them what they want to do with their property.
And they've been saying stuff like,
I think I want to sell it. And I said, all right, well, what kind of things, tell me about your house first of all, and then go through all that and get some ideas what they have and see where they want to go with it. And then we work on trying to find our way to a good ground that, I said, I always want to have them tell me what they can and have them kind of lead the conversation as long as I let them keep talking.
but yeah, if somebody was to say something like that to me, I think I want to sell my house. That's not a real sure answer to me. So
Yeah.
other than the price, what would be a reason you would want to sell your house?
Silence is golden.
That's a question I would ask a person to say that to me. Because that's kind of a vague thing. I think I want to say, what do you mean you think? You either want to sell or you don't want to sell, or you need to sell, you don't need to sell. What do you think about that, Rich?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You got to undercut, you got to dig deep. You got to dig deeper than just, stop talking about the price, get them off the price and just talk about their needs, their wants, why, what could make them want to sell their house, because a lot of people, and I've got a Melissa Luttrell coming in.
That's her. That's Melissa. She's
Oh,
not-
okay. Sorry, Melissa. Didn't mean to leave you hanging there in the waiting room. I was the guy behind the velvet rope, but yeah, I mean, you got to get people off, got to get them off the price right away and talk about other things. It's just, it's the same reason you don't start a call by saying, hey, I want to buy your house. How much do you want for it?
Yeah, people do that. I'll be like, you're done.
Nope. You don't go right to price. You gotta build up the right to talk about price. But if they want to just talk about price, you want to get them off that so you can come back to it. This is Miss Melissa, huh? Hi, Miss Melissa. You are on mute. I'm sorry.
Hi, how are you? Hi, fellas.
There she is. It's my turn. It's your turn. It's our turn. What up, Melissa?
How are you doing? Where are you calling from, Miss Melissa?
I am actually calling from Connecticut
Really? What part?
in New Haven.
Oh man.
Oh, y'all got the $800,000
what?
houses up there, huh?
I've got to ask you something because I went to Connecticut one time, Hartford area-ish, and I fell in love with a pizza up there.
Wow.
Papa, no, dang it. I cannot remember. It's a wooden or a brick fire pizza and it bubbles up real. Oh my gosh, nice crispy crust. And I have a friend from high school who ended up moving out there. And every time I get a chance to talk to her, that's the first thing I ask her is, what's the name of that place? Because I forget. And it was so awesome. The pizza was so good, but I only had it like 2 nights and I was only there a week.
Well, the pizza good in New Haven. I haven't really had pizza in Hartford.
Okay. They may have had they may have a spot up in New Haven too. I know that's not like right next. They're not right next door, but
yeah, they're kind of close. Not that far though.
Yeah, that's true. So what's going on with you? Chris says you got some kind of a deal you're working on.
Yes, I'm a wholesaler and I've been pushing to close my first deal for a few years. I've been working it off and on. So the market that I actually reached out into was Mississippi.
Oh.
And the market, the people that I'm marketing are failed listings. So I contacted a homeowner today. She has 2 homes. Well, I called her for one home that she said that she's absolutely looking to sell and get rid of. And then she told me that she has a second home. But the only thing is that she's kind of adamant about working with the wholesaler. So she's asking for a proof of funds and she wants $500 deposit for each home to be submitted to the title company. So
what's her background? Is she, I mean, it sounds like either she's been coached by an agent or she's been involved in this before. Did she volunteer any of that information?
No, she just said that she's looking to get rid of the properties and that that I guess a lot of wholesalers that she was working with, they wasn't really coming through. So she said that she wasn't looking to wait for like 30 days. She's really trying to sell the property like tomorrow. So she's real urgent on trying to get rid of it. But then she's also adamant about working with wholesalers.
So let me ask you this, Miss Melissa. Is she willing to drop that price like stupid?
She's gonna have to store again because she's a FSBO for sale by owner, and what she has the homes listed for is extremely high for me. Looking at it because the homes need work, so I know that the price has to come down because I know that ARVs are like around 20,000 or something like that. But she has the house listed for one of them for like 50,000 and the other one for like 60,000. But it needs work. They both need work.
So let me re-ask that question, Miss Melissa. Not what you think. What does the seller think? Is she ready to drop that price? I want to know, does she have is it in her mind, does she know that she's going to have to drop the price? Not you. Does she know she got to drop that price?
I'll have to discuss that with her.
Yeah, because that's a conversation that has to be had, regardless if it's a wholesaler or what. Because Mrs. Homeowner, be honest with you, there's only 2 reasons a property won't sell. And the number one is usually that price. Are you willing to pay that price? That's a question for her. Not what we think. I always want to position and ask the right question and let them get it in their mind. And if they say, oh no, I got to get 50,000, we barking up the wrong tree anyway. All that other stuff don't even matter. If they're not willing to drop that price and take this advice, it doesn't matter how bad she say she wants to get rid of it. It's going to be proven by how low she go with that number. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume if she's, again, well, I'm assuming a lot here. I apologize, but if she's wanting that kind of money, do they need any work at all? Are they move-in ready, rental ready, or whatever? No. They need work.
Yeah, she sent me pictures and videos, and the house does need work. You can tell that there's she tried to pretty much kind of band-aid some of the stuff to make it look kind of pretty, but the house does need work.
And does she recognize that?
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope that she would see.
So that's the thing. You have to bring. Well, that's the reason we're asking that. I'm not saying you did nothing wrong, but I want to be clear for the audience sake and for your training. You have to put them in that position. You have to make that stuff out of their mouth, not out of your mouth. We don't care what you think or I think. We want to know what the homeowner thinks. What is that price? Are you willing to go lower on that price? Or this is what I would have asked her right from the rip. Looks like it was listed on the MLS. Why do you think it didn't sell when it was listed, Mr. Homeowner?
Yep. Yeah.
See, when you ask a potent question, they got to respond and they got to defend their position, not you trying to convince her of nothing. Make her defend her position. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And that's the homeowner. It's always on them, never on you.
And ignore that awkwardness of the silence. When you ask that question, like Chris is saying, just let it be as awkward as it can be. It's just as awkward for them. So they'll eventually talk. They'll eventually give up some information about it. But yeah, don't talk when you ask those kind of questions. Just let them talk. Okay.
So what's the guidance on them kind of not wanting to work with a wholesaler? That's pretty much out the question.
It doesn't matter we got to go in order. So if she's not even, so that's like saying, I want to buy that house, but that guy don't want to sell that house, but I'm thinking about earnest money and all this other stuff. It don't matter. That's later down the road. If she's not coming down on that price, wholesaler stuff don't even matter at this point.
Right.
But if she's willing to be cooperative, I'm here to help you, Mrs. Homeowner. If you don't want my help, no problem. If you do want help to solve this problem, I'm on your side. We're on the same team. We're going to take out this game and get both of these properties sold for you. Now, if you don't want to do it, that's totally up to you. But this is my profession.
Okay.
So position yourself as somebody, as a resource, a trusted advisor. You're not there to buy her house. You're not there to beat her up on price. You're not there to do all this crazy stuff. You're there to be a trusted advisor, a friend, somebody that can help them.
Right. Okay.
What, awesome. Were they rental properties before, or what? Why is she trying to sell now? Do you know that?
Well, they were rental properties that she no longer wants. She's looking to pretty much liquidate because she has a few properties that she was getting rid of.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
well, just to be honest with you, I have a ton of questions for Mrs. Homeowner. Mrs. Homeowner, what are you going to do if you're not able to sell? You see how all of these questions put all the pressure on her? There's no pressure on me. The only pressure on me is to ask the right question and let her develop her mindset. Now she's like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't sell them, or I'm going to let the bank have them if I don't sell them, or whatever excuse. I don't know. We have to ask the questions to know what they're thinking. It's the only way we can read their mind. It don't matter what I think. It don't matter what you think. It matters what she thinks.
And it's a big check on their mindset too, right? If somebody's asking $50,000 for a $20,000 house and needs $10,000 in work, they need a check in reality. So when and they may never even thought about what would they do if they can't sell this house. They may just be thinking, man, this is a great house. I'm gonna sell it for 50,000, no doubt. I'm gonna wait 60 days, 80 days, 100 days. I'll sell it, no problem. But when you ask that question that Chris just, recommended you ask, that makes them think to themselves, wait a minute, I didn't think about what happens if it doesn't sell. So
yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a coming to God talk. Sometimes you gotta have and asking the right questions, regardless of I'm a wholesaler or not, don't matter. You want to solve the problem or not. Me being a wholesaler has nothing to do with solving your problem or not. You want your problem solved, or you want to worry about who's wholesaling or what? That's the question. I mean, I get straight up real with people. I mean, I'm not saying to be mean or in an aggressive way, but why are we beating around the bush? I'm not buying your house, but I'm going to help you get your house sold. If you want. If you don't want, I'll move out the way and let you figure it out. But I'm here to help you if you want it. Now, will you take my hand?
that's right.
You got to hit them with some closes.
So true.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. That was awesome help.
Yeah, I'm glad we can help you. And if you need further help, just let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all about, Melissa. I don't know how much of my videos and stuff you looked over, but I do have a real estate playlist. The first 7 or 8 videos goes over a lot of this basic stuff that I'm talking about now. Finding it, talking to the homeowner, stuff like that. If you don't have it, I can send that over to you.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, it's a whole playlist that goes over this stuff because it's so important to have the right conversation. I don't get those objections. Oh, you need to send me earnest money. I don't get that objection. Oh, are you a wholesaler? I don't get that objection because I don't hold myself as that type of person. I came in as somebody to help. If you don't want my help, I can't make you take it. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink.
Yeah, that's true. Your help is like grace. You got to reach out and take it.
Okay.
There's,
questions, Miss Melissa?
Nope, that was it. Just a little guidance and assistance on how to direct it and kind of go from there. But that was helpful. Thank you so much. And I do watch your videos because I get your text message.
Do me a favor, Melissa, if you don't mind, drop your email and phone and your cell phone into that chat box there. And I'll make sure you get invites to these, these meetings, these Zooms, and you can join us like this all the time if you want, or as much as you want. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'll get the link ahead of time.
Okay.
That's powerful. And that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's listening in the audience as well. He who asks the questions is in control of the conversation. We don't want the seller sending us down rabbit hole, telling us we need to get this, and you're a wholesaler and I need big old earnest money. I know you came across some bad people before. I'm not those people. I'm here to help you. It's just that simple, Just have to come, just a real talk. I mean, I'm not here to try to convince you of anything or try to rip you off or do anything slick or quick or none of that other. I ain't gonna rhyme and say that one, but you know what I mean. In the gutter. What do you think about what you heard so far there, Nick? What do you think about that?
I like it. I just think another thing you need to ask is, how'd you come up with that price you want?
Yeah.
Because if they're looking at Zillow, there's, whatever they're looking at, don't mean it's what it is.
Right. And that's huge. You're right, buddy. Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta let them tell you where they get their numbers, and then you can work from that too.
Yeah, because I literally talked to a seller today who has two properties, and she wants to sell them. She actually, it was one of my leads that fell through the cracks. That I was going through some old leads. I was like, oh dang, I was supposed to call this lady back and I forgot, right? So that's why you always got to follow up on your leads, man. Always. The fortune's in the follow-up, right? Not just after you make the first contact, but shoot, if you're dealing with mass number, and I'll admit, I'm just a one man. I'm at a point where I need to hire people to make those follow-ups or whatever. But anyway, so I made a follow-up call talking to this lady. These houses have been sitting vacant for almost 2 years, and she's not at a pain point to sell them because she owes them free and clear. Yeah, granted, they got to pay taxes and have the lawn cut and stuff like that. But she's like, I'm not really in that big of, I don't have to sell it. And I asked her, what she was wanting after we got there, asked her what she wanted for the properties. And she told me, and I had done a quick look before I even called her because she had given me the addresses ahead of time. I did a quick, just to kind of give me a ballpark of what the ARVs are going to be in that area. and she was wanting to write about ARVs, and it's like, why? And I said, I always ask that question, Nick. Can you tell me how you came to that number? And sometimes you'll get, Zillow says it's this, or, my neighbor down the street sold it for that. And it's, 2,500 more square feet or whatever it is. But anyway, her remark to that was, because I don't want to sell it for less than I bought it for.
Well, what did she buy it for?
Yeah. And here's the key. Let me tell you this. You come to the inference you did. She bought it in 2006.
Oh, before the crash.
Right. Now, granted, we're in a market now that's better than it was in 2006, right? But still, it just that mindset of I don't want to lose money on it. Like, okay, well, you got
a calculator. Let's see, you've been paying this every month, this every year. Are you losing money on it?
Exactly. Let's talk about how much money you made on it, because you were renting it for $1,200 a month for the last 10 years, or we'll call it 8 years. How much did you actually make? You made money on that house, but you can't, you got to obviously present that strategically, right? You can't just start fighting with the person. Oh, you didn't lose money.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about positioning. And I did want to come back to, like I was saying with Melissa and everybody else, we got to go back to the old school. I said, if you haven't asked at least 50 questions, you probably didn't ask enough. 50 question rule back in full effect.
You can ask 50 yes, no questions, or a handful of open-ended questions that answers 50 questions, right?
That's right.
It's that old game. Those old games where you can, I forget what it is, where you have like somebody's name on a card, and you put it on your forehead, and you have to ask questions to the other people who try to figure out who you are. You can answer, am I a man? Am I a woman? You can ask those kind of questions. Am I, whatever. Or you could just say, you could ask a question, who am I? No, that would honestly answer the question. I don't know if it's against the rules, right? But you can ask all these 50 questions and try to figure out who you are. Or you can say, well, who am I? And get the answer.
Who am I?
Or tell me about what I did. If you can't ask that question directly. But anyway, sorry, getting off on a tangent there.
That's the name of the game. You got to have the right conversations with these people, because if you don't, you're playing. All your marketing stuff is useless if you don't master the conversation. And I'm not saying to just beat them up about a question like this. I want to know if you want to sell your house. I'm not saying to say that. I'm saying to be conversational. Oh, seems like a pretty good house. What made you decide to want to sell it?
Yep.
Versus, why you selling? Why you selling? Why you selling? It's not like you are waiting to feast on them.
And also, one of the big tips on that's so true, Chris, is also when you're asking those questions, because those questions you're asking will get you in a conversation. That's what you want to be in, right? You don't want to be in a checklist. Wait, hold on, I got to ask this question next. Well, hold on, I got to ask this question next. Right? You don't want to be in that checklist mode. You don't want to be in a McDonald's order taker mode, whatever. But you're having that conversation. Make sure you're noting the information the person's giving you in that conversation. If they told you, and you're saying, what do you want, whatever you're talking about, and they disclose why they're selling the house in that first part of the conversation, don't come back to it later and ask them that same question later. Well, why do you want to sell your house? Well, they just told you why 10 minutes ago, but it was earlier than you normally would get that information, right? So just pay attention to the information they're giving you, so you don't sound like you weren't listening, because active listening is important. And if you repeat something that totally throws that out the window, forget it.
So are you telling me to use 2 ears and 1 mouth?
That's right, buddy.
Listen twice as much as talking.
Absolutely. What do you got? You're on mute there, Kyle. I know Kyle's got something to add there too. It looks juicy. Uh-oh.
He knocked himself off. Uh-oh.
Let me click this button. Maybe did it prompt you? I don't know if it prompts you on your side if I asked to unmute.
All right.
There you go.
Hey, you hear it?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I've bought properties from wholesalers. I've never done the wholesaling thing. Some of my friends have asked me about it, but a lot of what you're saying reminds me of when I worked a while doing selling vehicle service contracts over the phone. And breaking objections. And I'll tell you what was even worse than that is I work for a collection agency,
Ooh,
and I out here in St. Louis, and trying to talk to people about why they need to, pay these bills off. It may be stuff that's been on their credit forever, and overcoming objections and stuff like that. And it's just talking to people and, setting up stuff and seeing what you can do for them. Like you said, you're trying to give them a service, in the end. And trust me, people paying off old credit card bills that they got divorced on and got stuck with the bill is much harder than I think real estate. But
right.
that's just me. But a lot of the properties I bought from people, the owners of the house is the one that actually showed it to me, and that was how some of these other wholesalers did it. And I just kind of played along and looked over the house and addressed the issues myself, and then made my offer and went from there.
Sure.
So yeah.
And it's, I mean, that's awesome that Kyle, that you worked with wholesalers to buy properties and stuff. And some people I remember the first time I worked with somebody who didn't know about wholesalers, didn't even know it was legal. Like, I offered
I've seen, I mean, for as many of them as I look at, I'd say a good 80% of them aren't worth the gas or my time to even go into the house.
Sure.
But that's just being brutally honest.
Yeah.
But every once in a while you'll see one that's like, I can do this. And it's at a good price and everybody's happy, everybody makes money, and I got a property that's gonna sit in my portfolio for the next however many years. So
Kyle, I got a question for you. Say if a wholesaler brings you a deal, the numbers look good, the house looks good, it makes sense to you, but they're about to make $50,000 assignment fee on that deal. How would you feel about that?
I mean, I could really care less. Yeah, to me, I'm the end user. I'm looking at it as far as a long-term investment. Yeah, so
there you go.
I mean, most of the ones that I buy are not in that price range. Like I said, I'm buying the lower end stuff, but
right.
Like where are you buying, by the way?
St. Louis County, far north is Alton to St. Anne, Ferguson, the usual, St. John, all that type of stuff.
You like Berkeley?
Well, Berkeley's a tale of two cities. I like Berkeley because I got long-term tenants that live there and are happy with it, and they're Section 8, and I get the rent money, and some of those houses have paid for themselves 3 times over since I've had them. And the only problem is the city of Berkeley seems to not like people like me buying property there. Every other municipality, could care less about what's going on, but they got inspectors that can't wait to go inside their houses every year, and I get to pay for an inspection. And I mean, it's just honestly, it's just harassment of my tenants, and I'm the one that has to deal with it, and my tenants aren't criminals or, causing trouble or something like that. But you go into, unincorporated St. Louis County, you got smoke detectors and the windows stay open, you're going to pass, and Berkeley's not like that. So that's my crib notes version of my thoughts on Berkeley. So I mean, I and now Calvert and Park's acting the same way. I spent a week or so cleaning fence line of honeysuckle and winter creeper, just because they got a drone flying around pointing it out, and the Missouri Department of Conservation said it's an invasive species. So I mean, I got better things to do, but that's the type of stuff that you're dealing with in some of those municipalities, and you got to know that. I mean, so
And that, my friend, is why I do not buy in Berkeley anymore. I've
I
played
mean,
that
it's
song and dance
it's
with
an annual inspection. You know, it's crazy. You know, I mean,
Not-
it's
Not
you know,
even like just if
Nazi
it becomes
Germany.
vacant. Not even when it comes vacant every year, or if it becomes,
no.
Wow.
And I'm completely fine with that if it's vacant
Right.
and then you want to put somebody new in it. This
Right.
is somebody that's lived there for over 10 years and never
Wow.
got so much as a speeding ticket. And now they want to go, would you like it if I went over to your house and pointed out everything was wrong with it?
Right. No, and that's
You know,
that's
it's Nazi communist,
yeah.
like I've never seen anything like it. And
I can't
you
believe
know, I
anybody
pay my
doesn't want that.
taxes and everything else.
I can't
Struck
believe
a
that's
nerve
not
with
illegal search
I
and
think
seizure.
I struck a nerve over there.
Man,
Oh,
that's-
dude, I mean, when you go and do an inspection and then they hit you and then you fix it and then they say, oh yeah, well you need to charge you $50 for a re-inspection so they can
Right.
come back out. Because
Or
a 2-inch a
100.
2-inch piece of concrete fell out of the step out front, and you gotta patch that up a little bit more with some more concrete. I mean, it's I can go on and on. Trust me. Don't get any alcohol in me. I'll really tell you. But I mean, but I can't complain because years ago I bought the house for 20 grand, and the lady's been renting it out for $800 a month, and it's steady money, and allowed me to purchase a lot more other houses. So I take my medicine, I guess.
yeah, anyway, yeah, it sucks.
When you're being a buy and hold investor, you got to know the marketplace. When we talk about knowing your market, that's the kind of stuff you need to know. Because like over there, you have to be grandfathered in to even have a rental. You
Right.
can't even have a rental over there if you're not grandfathered in. So it's all types of loopholes in these different municipalities and townships.
Well, and then the problem is you could buy the exact same house that was built at the exact same time, 2 miles away in St. Anne, and it's worth 3 times as much now as the one in Berkeley. And it's the same layout, it's the exact same house, and that house is 150 grand, and you're maybe gonna get 50 for yours.
And that's the crazy thing about it, because like over there, all of those rules and stuff, and they had to demolish all of these houses over there and stuff. It isn't like a community or something. Now, if it was giving some results or bearing fruit, as we would say, I would say, oh yeah, they're right. But evidently, it's not happening.
You would rather buy a house in St. John or even Calverton Park or Overland or St. Anne, Woods and Terrace. You'd take anything over Berkeley, anything at all. And
over to the chief,
and that's because the appreciation and I mean I will even say, I mean, the house I have, the houses are on quiet streets. There's not a lot of crime or anything. It just investors are not going in there for that very reason. So, and I don't know who would want to buy a house as a buy. I'm sorry, the school district sucks. So. Why would you want to put a 30-year mortgage on it and live there yourself?
Kyle?
Yeah.
What about Country Club Hills? What you know about over there?
Well, I went to Luther North, so
they're pretty oppressive too. If you didn't know, if you ever get
well, and I've heard horror stories about Pine Lawn and some of these other places, but I haven't really had any experience over there. And like I said, the prices keep going up. So, I just look for the deals. That's all. So if y'all have them,
we're going to get you to buy something in your city in a minute. So that'll get you straight.
That's right.
Well, I don't know. I say it's eventually, I mean, and that's one of the reason I come to these groups. If somebody told me, hey, there's a lot of investors buying up Wellston, and you need to get into Wellston right now, I'm not gonna be the only one. But if there was 10 other guys that were buying up everything and putting dumpsters out there and cleaning it all up, in 10 years it's gonna turn into something. I might be more apt to do that.
Right.
But that's the issue. So I mean, I grew up in St. John, so I know the area. I mean, like I said, 40 some years.
I told you I'm sitting in St. John right now. What would you say about that?
What's that?
What if I told you I'm sitting in St. John? Well, actually, I'm in Breckenridge, but got close
Oh,
enough.
Breckenridge Hills. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I grew up, Endicott Park was my backyard. So if you know where that is, off the Rock
awesome.
Road. But yeah, like I said, I mean, some of those areas for what they're asking for prices in Breckenridge Hills. I mean, I remember, you could buy houses over there for $20,000, $30,000. And it's like, now if somebody came in there and said, we're redeveloping the area and we're putting all this new stuff in, I can understand that the price is going up. But Breckenridge Hills is the same crappy woods, same crappy street that's going down there with TJ's Alibi Inn and all these other terrible, like they haven't put any money into the whole area.
What if I told you this too, Calvin? Kelvin, we just sold one for $60,000 2 weeks ago.
I know. And I know there's people renting them out for $1,000, $1,200 a month.
That money.
And happy to net $200 a month after they pay mortgage fees, insurance, and management fees, and all that type of stuff. I'll tell you this, and it's always been my experience. If I wanted to make $200 a month off rental property, I would just quit drinking as much, because $200 is just not enough. Right. To cover all the headaches.
Rich, is it places like that over in Illinois that you kind of stay away from for bad government?
Oh yeah, I mean it's they're the bad government. Belleville's invasive in their government. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as what you're talking about over there. But I mean they just in like Cahokia. I know it. I know how to navigate it now. But I mean you got towns over here that have a specialized list of say like contractors or specialized list of electricians that have to work on any electric in your rental properties or something.
Right. Yeah.
They're certified though, Rich.
Right. They're certified.
I know
electricians,
the one
but
thing you do not have a lateral sewer. You don't have a lateral sewer line program like they do in St. Louis County.
Right.
So there's actually insurance that you better buy for your property.
Yeah.
Or you're going to find out the hard way when that sewer stops working. And you're going to say, well, don't you call the lateral sewer line? And they go, what's that? There is no, that's not there. So
right.
I always warn people that you got to pay extra $12 a month for that through American Water.
Right.
So, but that's just part of knowing the area and that type of stuff.
Right. True. Chris, we got any questions out there on your streams?
Let's see what we got. Any questions, or even on the live here? Melissa, Nick, any questions, or anybody that's on?
Right. True.
This is the time to get your question in before we get up out of here and do some more woke stuff. Because this real estate game can definitely be tough if you don't get the proper training, the proper education, the proper coaches, the proper mentors, the proper partners, the proper contractors, we're going to call them.
Might be able to.
We want to definitely get that all straightened out. If you could give somebody that's just brand new, Rich, that's coming into this business, they want to kind of wholesale, could you give them one good tip? What good tip could you give them to help them, be successful just coming into this game kind of brand new?
I mean, my number one tip is probably the hardest thing somebody to have right out of the gate is confidence. It's hard to have confidence in something you're brand new at, right? But the word I would say get rid of in your vocabulary is the word just. So I've seen and met so many wholesalers who, when they're introducing and they're networking with other real estate investors, and they say, oh, well, what do you do? I mean, they might be intimidated by listening to what Chris does and listen to what Kyle does and or me or whatever. But when they come around to them introducing themselves and they say, well, what do you do? They're like, oh, I'm just a wholesaler. No, screw that. Get that word just out of your system. That will help your confidence immediately right away, because there isn't just a wholesaler. There are people that have built hugely successful businesses, and that's all they do. Is they just wholesale. right? So get that word just out of your system. Believe in yourself. As long as you're studying and learning your craft, there's no need to use that word just wholesaler. Own it and know you're providing a very, very valuable service to, I mean, heck, people like Kyle on the call here says he's bought properties from wholesalers. They were probably confident. You got to be confident, and confident means you know your numbers are right and you're offering the property at a real number that somebody will pay for it.
Exactly.
That's what I would say.
Kyle,
I'll tell you a story.
oh, Kyle, if somebody was kind of trying to get like you and build up a portfolio and buy a bunch of rental property, can you give a tip on what somebody can do to kind of get in that position as well?
Well, how I got started, it's probably not the way that a lot of people do, because it's, the new thing now is to go get a loan. Years ago, you couldn't get loans. If you walked into any bank, they would probably laugh you out of this place.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. But if you worked any kind of time and get a little retirement going someplace at a job, your investment financial advisor, you can get a margin loan and go after some of these deals. So that's kind of one of the ways that I did it. I got tired of working 60 hours plus a week in the restaurant business, and so that was kind of how I got started. And if you buy a smaller house, cheaper house, you'll get your money back in a few years, and then you go and do it again. So that's kind of how I've been doing it for a long time. So
what do you mean by a margin loan? How would you, if somebody said, "Hey, I'm not familiar with that," how would you explain it?
Let's say you've been saving your IRA or your 401k, whatever over time. Edward Jones will give you a 4.75% loan, no questions asked, on whatever your investments are. And there's no running credit and seeing your W-2s and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
Like I said, I did have some work history. I put in a lot of time and that type of stuff,
Sure.
Home equity loans and, life insurance and stuff like that. There's ways to get the funding besides the BRRRR method that, everybody's pumping these days. So, and then if you're actually making money off your rentals, like I have a bunch of them now, well, you save some of that money, for a month or two, and then you use that money to buy your rental.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you become the bank.
Yep.
It's not, no, I got to go ask the banker again. Well, if you truly are making money off of this business, you should have money, right? So you should be able to bank after 2 or 3 or 4 months and find another $30,000, $40,000 house and put something together. So, that's the way I've been doing it over the years. And
Well said.
that's, that's how I've been doing it. So
Makes sense. And I agree with you, because I bought a bunch of property and I've never got a loan yet. However, I'm working on a loan product that would be good for you, Rich, over in Illinois.
I need to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
there's more friendly loans that, people will cash out of property because now they are, more valuable than they ever were before. So, I as far as advice to other people, I say, and plan on doing some sweat equity, and managing it yourself. And like I said, I cut costs wherever I can.
Yeah.
Paying an electrician $300 an hour to replace an outlet is not going to make you money. I'm sorry. I got a bid the other day for $6,200 for doing plumbing. That's a whole year's worth of rent on that property.
Give them a tip. Give them 1,000.
What's that?
Give them a tip. Give them 7,000. Tell them keep the change.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but you know, and then getting dirty and fixing it yourself with, you know, your own know-how. I mean, after a while, you build confidence doing it. So, you know, and that's, you know, something everybody should do.
Right.
Even, and it's, and if you mess up your own property, it's okay. You know, like you can fix it. Yeah. You know?
Right.
I have to steal a quote from one of my buddies. He said, "You don't have to be the most valuable player, but you do need to be a valuable player."
Ava.
So
Yeah.
you gotta be a valuable player. You don't have to be the most valuable, but you need to be a valuable player.
Yeah.
What do you-
And I would tell anybody, look for these properties. You want to answer a lot of questions. If maybe somebody just moved out of it or they currently have tenants living there, chances are everything works. No tenant is living in a house where the sewer doesn't work. You know, like I've never understood that. Like here you have houses that are the same price, but this one has $10,000 and all these question marks versus one it has a tenant in there and it's cash flowing. And on closing day, you're going to get a security deposit plus prorated rent. I just, you know, that's my 2 cents. So, you know, when I go and look at some of these wholesale deals, it's like, I can just find something better, you know?
Yeah, too many wholesalers now are trying to take too much of the meat off the bone. We got to get back to basics.
Well,
Because
it could be that, or it could be they don't know how to negotiate to
True.
get it lower.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
they might lose the deal if they push too hard, or you know, come up with a reason or anything. You know, it's a lot of reasons why, you know, the so-called wholesaling community gets a bad rap. But I'm here to clean it up because it's a new sheriff in town, baby.
Right.
But I know we only got a few more minutes on here.
Yeah.
Like, we already passed our hour mark. Did you want to
Sorry.
make any comments, Nick? I put my headset on.
He looks like he's trying to unmute himself.
We both got our headset on.
Oh, here,
There we go.
there he is.
I had to find my mouse. The
Oh.
dog jumped. The dog was on the bed and jumped off, and my mouse went flying with him. So, no, I learned I like this. No, see, I'm doing more cold calling. I'm not talking to buyers. I get my list off of PropStream, and I just call people up and talk to them.
What's been a struggle that you've had as you've been doing this thing called cold calling?
Getting that, well, when I'm calling them, they're not necessarily actually going to be selling. So my approach is I'm asking them, say, are you interested in selling your property? And they go, well, maybe, why? And blah, blah, blah. So
Well,
it's
that's,
just
that's better than a no and a hang up. I mean, I can.
oh, absolutely. No. And that's like Rich said, follow up, you know,
Yeah.
make yourself a tickler file, or I'm going to bid on a whiteboard so I can write, you know, all my notes down.
Yep.
And whatever day, 10, 24, get back to that person that was kind of warm on it. So.
And sometimes you can also ask the question. So say, are you interested in selling? Well, no, I don't know if I want to sell right now. So would you be looking to sell in the next 3 to 6 months? So you let them give the time, or when do you think you'll be looking to sell? You know, when you could give another time so you know when to follow up. But got the notepad. I see you, Nick. Nick pull out that notepad. He said.
I love it. He's awesome. Heck yeah.
Or asking that follow-up question.
Yep.
Are you looking to sell in the next 3 to 6 months? Or
Sure.
you know, or what would be it? Like I said earlier, what would be a deciding factor on if you sell or not? You know, when you ask a more potent question, you get a more potent answer, and I can help and step up your approach in this thing called negotiation and wheeling and dealing, doing a thing called real estate investment.
I like that. Thank you.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
is that it for now? As you had anything final?
Hopefully,
Rich?
hopefully our new attendees, hopefully, you know, Miss Melissa here and Kyle, I'm glad you all joined us today. Hopefully you got a little something out of it, and feel free to reach out with any other questions. That's awesome. I've got your information here, Miss Melissa. I'll make sure you get the invites moving forward. And yeah, we'd love to have you on. I'd love to hear some follow up about what you got going on with those deals in Mississippi, especially this double deal. So I would love to hear more about that and follow up and what we were able to get done. I love hearing success stories, even if it doesn't, even if it doesn't turn into a yes, you learn something, right? So I'd love to hear about that, but get that out of your head. You can make it turn into a yes.
Somebody just cold called me too, Rich. You know what their open line was?
No.
Is the lady of the house there?
Oh, are you serious?
Click.
Yep. Wow.
I don't even normally just hang up on people. Sometimes I actually stop and say, hey, can you put me on the do not call list with your organization? Because I'm on a do not call list anyway. Don't know why.
Right.
Can you place me on the internal do not call list so you can stop calling?
Right. That's the thing. But people just have to have. They don't know. A lot of people just don't know like calling etiquette. When you're it's how to. We used to back in the day when we would train people on how to make business to business calls, and you want to call the business asking for like a small business. There's a certain etiquette and certain thing you do to get through what they call the gatekeeper, right? Well, technically, whoever answers the phone there is the gatekeeper. They may be the one you need to talk about, but they may not be. Either way, they're the gatekeeper, going to get you in touch with the person that can make that decision or have that conversation with you. But you got to know how to treat that person, approach that person, so you can get past the gate.
Right. They could be the gatekeeper, or they could even be the gate. Who knows? Ask the right questions and stay up late.
Spin those rhymes, Chris.
You got to make it memorable. Any
That's
other
right.
questions on here before we wrap this thing up and do some more woke stuff? Other than that, Rich, when's the next meetups? Give us a little rundown.
Well, locally, so let me plug this. I'll take just a couple minutes. I apologize if folks don't want to hear this or they've heard it enough. So in the St. Louis area, if you're somebody in the St. Louis area, we have 2 special meetups left this month in October, being that it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Hootie's House Buyers Club is having 2 separate meetups left this month. One next Tuesday at the Hooters in Fairview Heights. We ask everybody that comes to bring a $5 donation. And then we have a raffle for the Hooters has donated a $50 gift card to raffle for this time. So we've got a $50 gift card we're raffling off to anybody that shows up and gives us a $5 donation. You make another $5 donation and get an extra raffle ticket, as many as you want. But and we're also raffling off a calendar. So that's this coming Tuesday, the 19th. So 1 week from tonight, if you're a St. Louis person, Fairview Heights. It's going to be a great cause, great support a great cause, breast cancer awareness, breast cancer research. And then one last one on the 26th of October, Tuesday, the 26th, we're actually going to have a meetup, not in a Hooters. What, Rich? What? It's going to be, it's going to be at the Steak and Shake in Fenton. I guess they call it Fenton Sugar Creek. It's at 1185 Gravois Road. It's actually my brother's Steak and Shake. I asked him, can we have a meetup there for breast cancer awareness and whatever? He said, sure. So we're going to do a real estate investing meetup there at the Steak and Shake at Fenton Sugar Creek. And we're actually going to, same thing, $5, I don't want to say admission fee, but $5 donation gets an entry into the drawing for a $100 Steak and Shake gift card. So 100, yeah. Chris gonna be there.
On the website, where do people go to sign up to be notified of these upcoming live streams and events and things like that? How do they get?
Yeah, stlviplist.com. You'll get every email. And I apologize if you're not in the St. Louis area. We have these once a month, as long as Chris is available to have them with me. We have these once a month, the second Tuesday of the month at 6 o'clock Central. But you'll get the emails for that and the local St. Louis ones. But that's stlviplist.com. So hope to see another one.
There you go. So we always got something going and happening out here. You got to make it happen like
That's
a
right.
cap.
That's right. Thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate that. What about you, Chris? What juicy things do you want to drop?
Well, this Sunday, October 17th, happens to be my birthday. Lucky Libras in the house. So yeah, 10/17, I'll be having my birthday then. And yeah, other than that, what else is coming up? I don't know. That's it, really. Anything else? I'll notify people because stuff comes up all the time. You know how that goes.
Right. Yeah, so you're gonna be there on the 19th or the 26th, at least the 26th, to win that $100 Steak and Shake gift card.
Somewhere. We're gonna be somewhere nearby.
That's right. So yeah, all we do is ask it, especially that one. Everybody just be patient, because if we got 100 people there, you're not gonna get your burger in 5 minutes. So just be patient.
You guys go to any other meetups in St. Louis area, like the Faster House one or any of those?
I haven't been to the Faster House myself, again, just because it's so far away from me. But
Okay.
I've made it from here going forward. I'm going to start making more of them. Each week I'm trying to make at least one.
Full disclosure.
Southside Investment Club or any of those?
Yeah, I used to do that, but I mean, are they even having
I
groups anymore?
don't think they're having live ones yet.
Yeah, not
Okay.
again. And
Full disclosure, Kyle, I'm a member of every RIA in St. Louis.
I'm just about. I think Faster House might be the only one I'm not. But yeah, and I mean, I go to a few virtual ones here and there too, just because some of these folks are still they don't want to have in-person meetups; they're only having virtual ones. So I'll get on those too. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait for people to be comfortable enough to go out to. I actually went to one 2 weeks ago. Went to one that I thought was live and in person because it didn't say anything on their meetup site that it was only virtual. And I get there and I go to the Brentwood Parks and Recreation spot and they're like, we don't have a meeting there for this. I'm like, what? So I jump on the Zoom. I finally saw the Zoom somewhere buried in an email, I think. And I jumped on, right? I jumped on and I was the only one there. I was like, doggone, man.
You had to choose which device. You want to be on the iPad or you want to be on the iPhone? You want to be on the Android? What do you want to be on?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, man. But
Hope everybody
yeah,
got information today. Hopefully everybody learned some tips, tricks, and Nick just filled up his notebook real quick.
that's right. That's
All
right.
Thank you everybody for coming out. We will see y'all in a week.
That's
Down.
right. That's right.
I'll-
And go
I'll-
Dodgers.
I'll be there next week and the week after.
Mhm.
See that hat there? I see that hat, Kyle. Of course. I guess I just didn't drink enough red Kool-Aid as a kid. Take it easy, everybody. Thanks so
Dodgers.
much.
Dodgers, let's go
All
Dodgers.
right. See you, everybody. Take care.
Take care. Thank